Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 10:12 and today is the 1st of June. First of all, I hope you guys have had a great trading month in the month of May. It was an all right month. It was a tricky month. It gave a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, if you had any big positional exposure, especially in the beginning of the month, you might have had a little bit of a trouble. All said and done, I think it should have been in the worst case scenario also a flattish to mildly negative month. I don't see any reason why people should have lost more than worst case scenario, really, like 5% if they were following any structured method of trading. Now, that being the case, for me personally, May was not great. I was, first of all, on a break, so I didn't really have too many trades going on. And secondly, I think I used, very few trading days to actually capitalize on an opportunity. So the idea was it's a choppy market, so I wasn't really interested. I mean, the way I look at markets is that it's a very, very long journey. Sometimes it's okay to let certain trades go if the market feels not so in tune with you or your trading style. So we'll just pull up this particular thing. So the month of May, see, I've not traded for a lot of the days. I've had three losing days, and I'll go over them. But after this particular losing day, I've not really traded too much, and I'm trying to keep trading mostly to just Wednesdays and Thursdays. In some case Tuesdays, and it depends if there are opportunities. I will try and step in another day, but a very limited extent and with very mild risk management. So what ended up happening is I had a positional trade which was on Nifty monthly, Reliance monthly, and Titan monthly. And in the first half is where I had entered this trade, and it gave me a lot of pain. I had to manage it for many days. But those who know me know that I don't overly manage, and there's a point where I will completely get out. So on this particular day, 12, 12th of May, the positional trade was giving me about 10 lakhs of loss. I booked the entire thing, and that day was also an expiry, and I didn't take any risk on that expiry because I'd already met my loss taking ability for the day, and I didn't want to take any further risk. So I actually took up any trade, and that gave me about 2.6 lakhs, and that was the end of the day. What's interesting here is that there's all this talk in the two lines of thought. There are some people who say, there was this big gap down, I lost a lot of money, and from there I recovered it completely and closed in green. I can never do that. Me personally, I can never do that because the way I see it is, I cannot afford to compound my risk. When I know that up to 10 lakhs, I'm happy to book a loss on a beat, positional beat, this thing. First of all, I don't want to adjust beyond that. Secondly, I do not want to compound risk beyond that. I don't want to be like I was losing X money. I mean, it gives me no happiness to say I was losing X money. From there, I recovered it completely and closed it in green because I'll always know in the back of my mind that I ended up taking more risk than I should have. Of course, it does mean that there is an opportunity cost loss because on this Thursday there was a huge gap down, a good amount of IV spike, potential opportunity, but something I just chose not to use. So after that, I didn't trade for until next Thursday. Where here also it's interesting. It was a repeat of the previous Thursday where we had a massive gap down with an IV spike. But the only difference is I wasn't carrying any trades. So because I wasn't carrying any trades, I would be quite honest in saying that the reason I made a good profit, an 8.5 lakh profit on this particular day was not because I did something special. That was the kind of opportunity that was there in the market. Literally no stop losses hit. Nothing happened. Market went nowhere. There was good premium and it was very easy. As long as you were selling options on the 19th of May, you would have made money mostly no matter what you did. So that was what ended up happening here. So one way of looking at it is there is an opportunity cost because of the positional trades. Not only did I book a loss, but I also missed out on the intraday opportunity here. So my takeaway for that is it is not that I shouldn't have had positional exposure. It was just a choppy time and there was nothing I could have done. And I can't blame the market also because that is how the market will be, right? So when you start doing something, you're like, okay, I would never have had positional exposure. Now I'm trying to diversify into positional exposure, and that's when things started going wrong. So I wouldn't think much of it. I would just think of that as one of the things that just happens and move on beyond that. So after that, I've tried to trade mostly closer to the expiry, relatively small trades, relatively tight risk management. All these days where you see I'm trading on Friday, it's actually I'm shorting super OTM call options or put options directionally with a very mild stop loss, and that is the approach I'm taking. So all put together for the month of May, I booked a loss of 35,000 in my trades. Yeah, I booked a loss of 35,000. My charges are quite high. So because positional trades, I was also trading deep in the money options. So because of that, charges are extremely high. And this also goes out one of the lessons in the market that if you're not making or losing money in the market, then you're definitely losing because you have to pay everybody involved. So there's about 1 lakh of charges, and yeah, 35,000 negative realized. All put together, I think personally for me, I was very happy with the month, all said and done. I had understood to a point that I was reaching partly on the burnout stage with respect to trading because it's been years and years of looking at every single candle, trading every day, even breaks in between very small, but at the same time like still being focused on the market. I think this is the first time where I've taken a break where for multiple days I didn't really see what was happening in the market. I didn't even open up the charts and see, okay, what's happening, how's option price behaving. I completely ignored it. In fact, today, last night was when I prepared for today. But apart from that, Monday, Tuesday, didn't even like take a look at what's happening and what I can do, should not do, all that. So all that said and done, still, I'm not in a rush, not in a rush to say I need to make it big. I think market is starting to relatively cool off from the level of volatility that it was some time back, and slowly I will use that to sort of get back into a trading rhythm. But at this point, I'm not really in a rush to get back to doing anything or to start making big money. Because the way I see it is, this is a very long term process. If this has to last for decades, it needs to be both like mentally sustainable and like you can't exhaust yourself beyond a certain point. And also, there's no real sense of FOMO because at the end of the day, this has been a very choppy market. It's not been an easy market. So I don't particularly feel like I'm missing out too much. Yes, certain days they would have been profitable to trade, and I'm potentially missing out on those. But then there will be ample pitfalls also that I have skipped because of doing by taking the break and all that. So all that said and done, I hope you had a good May. For now, the way I see it, I will sort of take my own sweet time to come back to a trading rhythm. Will I be making YouTube videos again in the old format? Yes, but that will take some time. And once I'm completely like detoxified from all the work that I've put in over time, then I'll probably get back to it. Now, one more thing that people have to understand that in the intraday trading playlist, for those who are like really into, okay, I want to really see how positions are managed. I have traded everything from between 35 wicks to 10 wicks, and all of those trades are compiled and put together. They're all there. So I feel most use cases, most cases of volatility I have covered already. That's one of the other motivations, or rather lack of motivation that is there when I'm trying to put out new intraday videos. So because I've almost covered everything. I've covered every situation, every possible situation. And the only thing that is missing then is that you don't know what exactly I'm thinking at any point of time. That I think knowing or not knowing doesn't particularly help anybody because for all practical guesses, for all practical reasons, one can think of my opinion as random, right? And they need to start building their own perspective. Now, many people say, okay, what strikes are you trading? What is your view for the range and all that? Why don't you come up with your own? You have all these videos, you have strangles on different days. You can go back, look at the charts, put in the effort, look at the charts of different days in the past, like 1.5 year, and come up with, okay, which particular day would I have found tricky to trade? Go see if I traded on that day, what I ended up doing. So I think most of it is already covered, which is why I don't really have this big motivation and push. Now, um, at the same time, I will make videos. It'll just be not in the exact format. I'm referring to those who want like 50-minute videos of the entire day. It'll not be in that format because it's already covered. And I think what is there should be more than enough to go over the trade execution, the strike selection, the moving of strikes. all of that I think more or less should be taken care of. That being the case, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you at the next one. I hope you have a great trading month ahead. It's halfway through the year to date. I think year to date, I'm still doing all right. Yeah, year to date, still looking quite all right. And I will not consider this slump of the past 45 to 60 days to be a big deal, simply because it was I was experimenting with positional trades, and for whatever reason that didn't work out. It doesn't particularly mean that's a bad thing. And at the same time, I'm really happy that I'm getting the kind of rest that I have got this last month. I won't get too used to it, but at the same time, I think it's necessary for this to be sustainable. So, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a good one.